Hey everybody, welcome back to Know Nothing Garage. I'm glad you guys are here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to easily bring some more life into an old tool. We touched on this a little bit before through rust removal, and today I wanted to tackle a actual full-size project. So the tool I have is my grandpa's old sledgehammer. So this is a 10-pound sledge. Obviously it's just a big hunk of metal, so the actual sledgehammer part is perfectly fine. It just looks a little old, which is okay. But the handle is actually cracked. And he tried to repair it once, and I kind of tried to repair it once. And it hasn't like cracked anymore or anything, but just to be safe while using it, it'd probably be best to replace the handle. So what I got, which will hopefully work, is this handle. So this is a fiberglass handle. They say that they are like 10 times stronger or whatever than a wood handle. So this is what I went for. It comes with an epoxy kit to secure it permanently to the head. So that's what we are going to do. But first, I need to remove this old handle. Basically, this has these two wedges that were put in here, which help keep this wood handle in here. So I just am gonna start by drilling little holes all around to try and loosen that wood up and see if we can get that these wedges out. Okay, so these are the two wedges that were in there. This is very normal, classic style. You can see they have little ridges on them, just kind of an arrow shaped to help keep them stuck in the wood once they're in there. That is how normally you do mount a head to a handle like this. But for us, since we have the epoxy kit, it takes a slightly different route. But now this head is pretty close, but I'm just going to do a little more drilling in here, and hopefully that'll just kind of release it. But this is probably the original handle. Since my grandpa tried to repair it, I'm sure that this is the original handle, which means this thing could easily be 50, 60 years old. I have no idea. Could be older. I'm not sure. But that's why you can see all the rust and the aged metal on these wedges. So let's do a little more drilling and see if we can get this out. Alright, so here's the original handle. I decided to take everything off so you guys could see it. Basically you can see there is a hairline fracture all the way down to about here, so about 10, 11 inches down. And then you can also see on this spot where all the wood was just kind of getting weak and rotting away. So definitely this thing lasted for, like I said, I think decades, like half a century probably, but either way it's done. And then you guys can see the new handle. So this is what I am replacing it with. So it's basically the exact same length. Looks like the head would come up about a ½ inch higher. So that is the plan. I'm not exactly sure. Obviously this epoxy head is a little smaller than this one, so I'll have to test fit and just see what the kit says and how that works. But yeah, this is nice. I have the epoxy kit right here. Let's see here. Here it is. So yeah, next step is getting the new handle on. Actually, the next step is cleaning up this head. So this looks fairly old. Man, this is a big hunk of steel. But I'm going to clean that up first, on my wire wheel. So you guys saw I just finished this in the last project. The video that I started was about taking off the handle was about a week and a half ago, and then I actually paused and built this, and now I'm coming back to it. And the reason for that is because I wanted to be able to use the bench grinder without mounting it to the work surface anymore. So now I have this cart, I don't have the wheels locked, so it's a little wobbly, but I just flip it, and there we go. I have my wire wheel, and then I just secure it back, and off we go. So I'm going to start cleaning up that head a little bit. Okay guys, so you can see this already looks a lot better just on a first, I don't know, 5 minutes of grinding on it. So I like it. The only thing about it, I guess, is that it you can see that there's some paint on here, and I don't know if that's because it used to be probably black or a dark blue color. So I might actually drop this in some vinegar for a while and then wire wheel it again and see if I can get a lot of this off to get it one consistent color. There was a lot of bluish paint on here that wouldn't come off, so I did a quick vinegar bath overnight and then just wire wheeled it really fast, and there is no paint left. So you can see there are a couple stamps on here, but I can't really read out what they say. This one obviously says 10 drop forged Japan, and then SFC ink. So that's pretty cool. I might look that up and see if there's any indication on years that they were made, but definitely a nice hunk of metal. So I'm actually going to take my Dremel tool and wire wheel out this, because this is the surface that I need prepped for the epoxy. So I'm going to do that pretty quick. Okay, so I set the head down here on the handle, and so we have this whole gap around here to fill, and basically we just cut this, squeeze it together, mix it together. It says it has about the consistency, a little bit less than honey, a little thinner, so that's good. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure how this is gonna work, but we're going to find out, aren't we? Okay, so with most epoxies, you squeeze out both parts. Okay, and then I'm going to use this piece. And we just start mixing. So it's usually a hardening agent plus the actual epoxy itself. And you just start mixing them. This thing says it has like an hour and a half work time. So I don't need to go too fast here. I need to make sure it's all really, really nice and mixed, but I want to make sure all of it is out of the container so we have the right mixture. It's always important, so I'll do that. Okay, that's gonna be hard for you guys to see. Oh man, it's messy. It's messy. So that is that. I'd say that that's good. I hope it worked itself all the way down in there. I don't know if I have anything thin enough. So the only thing I'm really going to need after this is a game plan for how to take everything off the top. And I think for that, what I'm just really going to do is just use like a sanding disc on the on my angle grinder and respirator because it's fiberglass, but that should take off all this top part. So once it dries, that's kind of going to be what we do. Okay, so you guys can see I was masking this up to get it ready for paint. One thing I did off camera was I sanded the top. You can use any sander you want. It just goes quicker if you use an angle grinder with a sanding disc. So I did that, but you can see it's nice and level. So the center of that is the fiberglass. So one thing to make sure is to wear a respirator. I had mine on the entire time. And I still got dust all over the side of my car, so I need to wipe that off. But yeah, I just masked a good portion of this up, and now all I'm really just going to do is I'm going to put some metal primer on it that I have, and then just paint. So that is the last step. Hopefully it turns out good. All right, everyone, here is the final product. So you can see I covered the ends. I know that probably most of the paint will chip off this anyway with hard use, but we've got a brand new epoxied handle, all fiberglass, so it should last forever. The head is completely coated, so I actually ended up using a rattle can of spray and bed liner that I had to give it a nice little textured look. So this is it. This was a really easy way to add extra life to a tool. I'm sure you guys remember when I took it apart, but here's the old handle. I cut off a little bit of it that was split, but this was the old handle. It had definitely served its useful life. So just a really easy way. I mean, the thing looks brand new now, has a new handle, newly secured, new paint job and everything. So don't throw away tools even if they're broken. This didn't cost very much money, just the cost of the handle, that was it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, leave me down in the comments suggestions of what else you'd like to see, and I will see you guys in the next one.